What is going on, guys? It's 269 back with another video for you guys today, and today's video is on my character class. A lot of you guys asked on the last video about my character class, what I'm using for a setup, what weapons I'm using and all that stuff. So I'll go over like I don't really need to go over my talents because they're all interchangeable and stuff like that, but I'll go over my weapons, what I've been using, what I'm using now, my stat distribution, why it's that way, and talk about any perks that I found really useful for you guys and how I use them, or abilities that I use to all together. So if you haven't checked out the DPS video, I highly recommend you go do that on the channel. It's about a few videos back. If I have a link on the screen, then definitely click on that. But today's all about my Marksman build and how much DPS it actually puts out, because I've found that this build puts out a lot more DPS than other builds that I've actually found, and works in tandem with your team if you're actually in a team. So the priority for this build is firearms, electronics and stamina. Those are the orders that you want to kind of look for attributes in or gear with that. You want to stack firearms, then stack electronics, then stack stamina. Stamina not being that important because you're playing as a marksman in this kind of position and standing back most of the time. For my primary weapon, I have the LVOAC. I bought this from a weapons vendor. You can pick it up somewhere, most probably from one of the weapons vendor. It's an assault rifle. It's pretty cool. It has the brutal perk on it, which increases the damage by 4 headshots by 20%. Look for that perk. I have it on both of my weapons. If you don't have it, you're definitely missing out because it does so much more damage. 20% damage on your weapon is super important for getting that DPS up if you want to be as damaging as possible. The other thing that I actually look out for on weapons is a perk called Deadly that increases the critical hit damage by a lot. I think it's about 20%, so it's similar to Brutal in that case, but that's why I use it. For mods on weapons, you're usually looking for stuff with weapon damage, increased magazine size, increased critical hit chance, increased critical damage. So those are the stuff that I put on. A lot of the time I found that magazines with weapon damage and magazine size up it by the most and outperform anything else in terms of DPS being increased. Obviously this is not like one of those false metrics like such as reload speed, which cause you to your DPS to go up but don't actually increase the damage of your guns. Those are kind of false positives. You want stuff like critical hit chance and critical hit damage and headshot damage that actually increase like your actual gun raw damage, rather than just how fast you're going to be able to get back into the fight really. Reload speed is cool and all of that, but a lot of the weapons have quite quick reload times unless it's like a sniper where you need that additional reload time, but I would rather get a per weapon damage increase on weapons that way. A lot of the time with these weapon setups I've actually been hitting like 500,000, 300,000, because a lot of people have been stacking a lot or most of their power in just firearms and stamina. They forget about skill power and what skill power actually does. Skill power actually enhances your abilities, not just in terms of like the power that they do, but the actual range or their capacity of what they're actually able to kind of accomplish. So if it's pulse, the pulse goes further, increases more critical hit chance, more critical hit damage. So I use that a lot to increase the amount of damage that my team can do. Obviously I could pour all of my stuff into firearms and get 200k DPS, but it's not going to do as much as the 50% that or the 60% critical hit damage that I get from pulse and stuff like that on a regular basis. Pulse is always up. With my abilities and my talents, pulse is basically always up when I'm in a fight, and I can get that critical hit chance, and my team can get a critical hit chance, meaning that we can burn through a team a lot faster, rather than being a high firearms build that doesn't have the skill power to kind of back it up and not getting as much critical hits which do additional bonus damage and all that stuff. So that's why I use skill power a lot. You can also use it in a combination with your team's ability to stack that power as well, or your signature skill is going to go up faster, so you can use tactical link a lot more in terms of the damage that you output. So my abilities that I actually use at the moment are pulse, obviously with a tactical scanner, because this does increase damage against pulse targets. So pulse targets will take 10% more base damage plus whatever you're doing when you get the actual criticals, because this ups your crits by like, so say mine on my 24,000 skill power, it ups my crit chance by 26%, 28%, and my critical hit damage by 60%. So I can stack that with other abilities such as Trapper and all these other cool stuff to get it up even more, or tactical link. But what I actually do is have ammo cache on so that my Marksman rifle doesn't run out of ammo, and I can sit in there and heal or get some team healing. So this build is really versatile in terms of what you use. The main thing about it is just the stat distribution that you're doing. So this will, like, in terms of a lot of things, take down enemies within one shot as well, because of the amount of buffs that you have on at the time. And if you want to run solo, the only thing that I found as a little detriment is if one of those shotgun guys runs up on you, then you're basically dead. What you can do is just roll back, have the 40% or increased armor when you're using a med pack, and that will usually get you away in that situation and save your life. But do watch out for like anybody that's actually going to rush you. But most of the time you can kill them in one shot, like the rushes, because they're only like purple enemies or yellow enemies, and yellow enemies go down in one shot. Yeah, this build is very good for damage. I was able to get over like 1 million in terms of hit point on an enemy yesterday, and regularly hitting like massive shots. If there's anything else that you actually want to know about the build, I think I kind of went over everything in terms of what's on there. For my armor, 4 out of the 6 pieces is firearms, with all my mods being electronics. So I stack electronics to bring it back up. You can change that around if you want a health or you're not feeling comfortable with that. You can put all stamina mods on there. But the thing I found about stacking up in electronics in this way is that it unlocks all of the perks on a gun usually. Not many of the guns use stamina as a requirement to unlock the talents, so this is definitely one way to unlock the talents on your weapon so that you can actually use them. I don't think there's anything else I really need to cover in terms of my character. In terms of talents, I have mostly medical ones. I don't really need to go over them, like I said, because they can be changed around. But if there's anything that you actually want to know, I'm going to bring out a review on best snipers soon in the futures for you guys to actually look at. But that's it really. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to bring you out a quick guide on like how to be your best marksman build and what you should be doing. Don't stack all firearms. It's not good. Well, it can do damage, but I don't feel it does all the damage that you need. Stack firearms and some skill power. So finally, thanks for watching. If there's anything in particular that you want to know about the build, just put down a comment down below and I'll comment back to you and reply to you. Just like the video and show some support if that's possible. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out.